Yes.
All right.
Yo,
What's
yo,
up? What's up?
yo.
All right, cat's out of the bag,
Gang,
guys.
gang. What's
Please,
up? What's up?
please, fire emoji in the chat section for your first and the most important judge of this whole thing, because he's going to be the one who's going to be setting the tone for the rest of the proceedings. Please put your hands
Yeah.
together for Shah Rule, the one, the only real legend. What's up, bro?
What's up, bro? How are you doing,
How you
man?
been? We're so excited to have you here.
Thank you for
It's
having
an
me.
honor to have you help us kind of figure this out, and we're really looking forward to having you involved with this thing. For those of you who've been living under a rock, let me just start by introducing our guest Shahrul, who's actually lived all around the world, like born in Hong Kong, went to uh, Russia of all places, and then moved from there to, if I'm not mistaken, Dubai, and then back to Bombay. Did I get
London,
that order right? London. Yes, I
London,
missed out London
London, and
also.
then the Bombay. Yeah. What's up? What's up,
Amazing.
everyone?
All right, there
Yeah.
are a lot of Sharoon fans in here.
What's up?
So
What's
yeah,
up?
let's just try and first let everyone know what we're doing here. What we're doing here is Sharul is joining us to help us decide the shortlist of rappers. They're going to be the best 32 rappers out of the country who are going to be performing at Visa Vivid
Yeah.
Shuffle. This time we're digital, so it's an online competition. If you guys want to
Yeah.
register, hit the link in the bio, tag Sharu, tag Visa Vivid Shuffle, hashtag live life in color, and send us your entries. We can't wait for it. And yes, let's start with this thing. So, Sharul, man, tell us a little bit. You started rapping at the age of 13. Like, I'm sure there was
Yeah.
there was a big role that the place you were at played at the time. So just take us through your journey, how you started out, and how you got into the game.
Just being a fan of the game, I was always a fan of music in general. I grew up on Michael Jackson, Stevie Wonder,
All right.
Bonnie M, whatever my parents were playing. But early 2000s, I think everyone was just like infatuated with the 50 Cents, the Eminems, the Ja Rules, the like uh, everyone, Nelly, all the or Ludacris, all the guys who were just
The
like killing it
classics.
at that point.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, like that's the era that I like kind of just like got I learned first about just by being a young kid watching MTV and stuff, and then I started rapping just out of like the competitive nature of rap pulled me in. I saw a few guys in my school rapping and showing their songs on the school bus, and I was like, yo, I can make way
Sure.
better music, and I've never even written a rap in my life, but that competitive nature just came out, and just being a fan of it. I think everyone who's in rap today has always been a fan and always jumps in from that passion for it. Yeah. Shout
Sure.
out, shout out, Slow Cheetah in the comments. I just saw Money Gang.
All
He's also
right.
super talented, super passionate about hip hop as well. Yeah.
Amazing. I wanted to understand, 13 is pretty young, right? So, and where exactly were you, and how did the place you were at affect what you were writing about, and where did you start? Like, usually rappers have a very definitive voice in the beginning. They experiment with a lot of material, but how did you kind of decide and kind of narrow down? Did the place play a big role, or was it just inspiration that you were listening to and stuff like that?
I mean, I was in Moscow. I was in Russia, like because of my dad's business. But I was going to an American international school, so I was around all types of kids who were obsessed with all types of music, and hip hop was just like that thing that we were all obsessed with. And there were rappers. There were a lot of rappers in just my grade, my class specifically. So it was like already I felt like okay, like there's some set of competitive nature which I found a way to express myself. I was always a shy kid, and I don't think definitely the location didn't help much. I mean, like it didn't affect any of the change. It was the fact that it allowed me to express myself even more, and
Sure, sure.
of course it was cold and I had to bring my fire. That's
Oh
all I can
shit.
say about the location, you know.
Got it. So
That's
then
it.
from
Yeah.
one cold place to another cold place, which is London, and they have
Yeah,
such a strong history of hip hop, and they have this offshoot called
of
Grimes.
course.
Like, how did that influence your style, and like how did that kind of affect your style?
Yeah, early on when I was in boarding school, again, I was surrounded by all cultures. So I grew up with older guys showing me, you know, people from the 90s and the 80s. So everyone from Tribe Called Quest to Biggie to KRS-One. So I was in my dorm and I could hear KRS-One at 7 in the morning, like someone's playing it. I'm like, yo, what song is that? That, you know, so I grew up on that during boarding school. But when I graduated from that and I was living in London specifically, yes, Selena, I got to, you know, go to all these types of hip hop nights of international guys coming and
Sure.
UK crews like BBK and so many a variety of artists and different
Shout
genres
out Boy
all
Better
over.
Know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, shout out Skepta, shout out Jamie, and yeah. I mean, music is, you know, it's everywhere, and it's how you kind of perceive it, what you do with it, and it was just all over the place. I think I went through many phases in Russia. I was going through just like the entry level phase of just being a fan of it and like being like, whoa, what is this? What is that?
Sure.
Just trying to understand it. In When I was in London, I was trying to like really study it and being like, yo, I'm a fan of this. I'm a fan of these type of lyrics. I'm trying to, you know, rhyme like that. I'm trying to flow like that. And then like
Sure.
when I came to Bombay, I had like this, you know, all this knowledge that I built over the years, and also being a rapper and a producer, audio
Sure.
engineer. Then it's like I could be here and I'm learning about my culture finally, because I grew up all around the world, and I get to like, you know, utilize whatever I want to say through, you know, this hip hop knowledge that I've learned, and like, you know, how to get it out there through these things like producing or rapping or emceeing, any of it. Yeah.
Sure. Amazing. So, like after you moved to Bombay, let's take it from there. Like, how was it? You came from countries that were primarily English speaking, and you came into a market where hip hop was blowing up, and there was a lot of regional representation, right? So, did you find it hard
Yeah.
to kind of get your message through, or like how did you tackle that situation?
I think first of all, when I came here, I wasn't even I knew there were rappers, but I wasn't even aware how big like the scene was already, like how big it was already at 2015. You know, like maybe it wasn't so big to everyone who knows it right now, but there's been a scene for 10, 15 plus years. You know, there's been guys who've been
Sure.
laying the roots down, like Divine and you
Totally.
know, a lot of crews. Um,
Yeah.
for me, it was the main thing was, you know, I came in just trying to grind. You know, I come from Moscow.
Sure.
I was just always attacking the nightclubs, attacking any type of place I can perform, any bar, any pub in London,
Sure.
anything. So for me, right away, I was like, let me go to all the DJs. Let me go make friends with all the DJs. I originally came here thinking, okay, I'm gonna go try Bollywood. I tried pitching out songs in 2 minutes. I was like, nah, let me do what I love. I love performing. Let me go, you know, perform wherever I can. And it kind of just built. I networked. I met a lot of rappers, and you know, like I said, there was already a like more than bubbling scene. It was, you know,
Sure.
there was a whole community here that, you know, that I made friends with. You know, I started working with, and it kind of just led from there. That's it.
Amazing. And in terms of when you did come here, did you feel there were enough platforms? Like what we're trying to do with Breeze of Vivid Shuffle is also this is the fourth year, and we thought it'd be nice to kind of include rap because if it's a hip hop festival, it has to focus on all aspects of hip hop, and hip hop is not just one thing, you know. So rap being an important aspect of hip hop, did you find platforms where you could actually go and showcase your stuff, or was there anything that was giving a leg up to the rappers, and or a place where all did you perform, and where did you start building your fan base in pop?
I don't think there definitely wasn't platforms, especially not like Breeze of Vivid Shuffle. I think it's definitely it was me having to like make my own opportunities, like, you know, at clubs. And to be honest, I was mostly emceeing for like an hour with a DJ,
Sure.
and I would kind of beg for my 5 minute slot to do my own thing. So it was kind of
Yeah.
me making my thing. And there were, of course, few showcases here and there that, you know, that people did put on and stuff, but mostly it was just about creating your own opportunities.
Sure.
And I saw it through the clubs because I was used to that, like in London and Moscow. I just wanted to be in front of people performing. I knew that's a skill that like kind of drew me into hip hop right away.
Sure.
And secondly, 100%, like it's been great to see platforms like Breeze of Vivid Shuffle. Like last year, I toured about, I think, 5, 6 cities with
Yeah.
BBS, and it was super fun because for one, you're connecting everyone within hip hop, b-boys, graffiti artists, rappers, of course, MCs, and just like lovers of the culture. And when you connect people like that, it's just, you're putting them in a positive
Strong. Yeah.
environment, and it's just building. Everyone's building. I'm,
Sure.
in fact, someone I met who in Shillong from the BBS gig is on my next EP, like that I'm collaborating with. So it's like
Wow. Who?
it's
Are you gonna tell us? Or is that a
yeah,
secret?
yeah, it's
Uh,
no, I'll keep that a little
all right,
secret thing
cool,
there. So
cool.
yeah.
So that's amazing and really inspiring. I want to understand also, what approach do you take? You want to be heard as a musician. You're just one person who probably in today's world where people's attention spans are so short, you want to make them listen to something and you want to get them hooked. Any advice for someone who's trying to present their music for the first time to an audience, or let's say whoever's going to participate here,
Yeah,
any advice you will
yeah,
give them in terms of what a judge might be looking for?
yeah. I think the most important thing, you have to be the best you can be right now. Like, I was always impatient that, oh, right now, like, I can do a better video, I can do better. I still I'm like that. But the most important thing is to remember that, like, a month from now, 2 months from now, 3 months from now, 1 year from now, if you keep working at it, you're going to be better. So I think right now you have to kind of just give the best you can, wherever you can. Be smart about it, be strategic. It's not just about like, oh, I want to, like, rap 400 words in a minute or whatever. Be a
Sure.
little bit strategic about it. Trying to get them, be unique with your message. What separates you from the other, however, 100 many people are, applying for this. And, like, just kill it. Like, go out there. I think the most important thing is, if you can, throw your passion out there and the camera captures it, then the judges, I will see it definitely. I will
Automatically
see it.
translates. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
100%, 100%.
And how
Yeah.
important is beat selection? Like, how crucial is the role of the kind of tune that you pick to rap over?
Very, very, it's very important, because it first tells me that you understand what your voice is like, and
Sure.
what you need to do to, like, shine on a beat.
Mm-hmm.
If you pick something that's super messy and overproduced, and you have
Sure.
a very silent voice like a mouse, not to, like, tell anyone everyone has a
Yeah.
mouse voice, but no one's going to be able to hear you. So you have to pick
Sure.
the right beats. It comes with experience as well, but it is a little bit just, being strategic. Like,
Sure.
think of it as you're going for an exam, like, and you're doing like an oral presentation, and what the judge is looking for, something spectacular or something
Sure.
special, right? So give them
Sure.
something special for sure.
Sure. In
Yeah.
terms of inspiration and creative blocks, like, is
Mm.
there anything that you really take from? Like, is it daily life? Do you go out? Like, how do you decide what you want to say? Because that is such an important part. That is your voice, right, as a rapper. And how do you kind of narrow down on that? Like, is it like
I
the
think
world is your canvas and anything at the point inspires you, or do you go in with an intention that, okay, this is what I want to talk about on this beat?
yeah, it's easier said than done, and it's kind of like a internal muscle you have to build to truly be honest. And, like, when I mean truly be honest, like, there are some topics you don't want to talk about, that I'm not ready to talk
Sure.
about, but I know
Sure.
they're in the back of my mind. But I think the best thing that happens is when I'm going through certain emotions and I tap into them, and I find the right beat or find the right word to just kind of get me going, because there's an emotion somewhere within me. And I think the key thing you have to build is to follow through, and just, trust the instinct that, that comes
Sure.
out. Like, a lot of us, when we do songwriting camps with GullyGang and stuff, we'll throw on a bunch of beats and we'll just start, like, walking around the room and just mumbling a little bit, and a word will come out. Now,
Sure.
subconsciously, I'm not gonna start saying, like, I'm talking about, maths and, science and shit like that. 'Cause, that's just not my interest. But, like, I might, talk about money or gold, or, partying, or love, or
Sure.
relationships, or anything that is really at the top of, my brain. And subconsciously, you have to follow through on it. That's the
Sure.
main thing. You have to kind of build that muscle to follow through.
Great
So
advice.
yeah.
I also want to, you mentioned Gully Gang, and I wanted to understand the role that a community plays. Like, what is it like having that support, or like that having that sounding board that you can run things off people, So just so that kids understand how it's important to kind of share your music, because as a creative person, a lot of times you're not sure and you end up not sharing music because you don't believe in it yourself. So just wanted to understand
Yeah,
what kind of impact a community had.
100%. I think the most important thing is, of course, getting that, getting a second, third, fourth, fifth opinion always, and also like stepping out, like friends and family, of course, is like your go-to,
Sure.
because that honestly starts as your fan base. It starts there. With whoever's around you and whoever's on your social network and stuff. But of course, when you take the trust and basically show what you've been working on to the guys who are doing this all the time, you're gonna get that hardcore feedback of certain things like flows and certain cadences, or
Yeah.
are you picking the right beat, or is this overproduced or whatever, or should you try doing this here, put this here, put that. You're not gonna get that from just like a regular ear. You can get simple. You can get the simplest things from a regular ear, like is this catchy? Does this move you? Does this make me want to dance? You need kind of
Sure.
those like more
Sure.
technical ears to kind of give you a little bit more. So have trust the people around you. Make, most importantly, network like crazy.
Yeah.
Go to all the events. I know we're like kind of just seeming out of a pandemic, and things are kind of opening up and shit like that. But
Yeah.
everyone's online. Most of
Sure.
the people that I know and that I've met and become friends with or work with, it's all kind of like just, yo, what's up? Follow them online,
Yeah.
start
And you did that
commenting,
so
start,
well, like even I feel when you came in and you moved back here, like the way you went out there and made everyone, like, shared your music with everyone and just went out and
yeah,
network, that played such an important role in like establishing you as part of the community. And that is so important, that sometimes people have some sort of a feeling, okay, maybe I'm not going to be accepted. So just push all that aside, put yourself out there, and it is
yeah, 100%. It does. It pays off.
yeah.
It pays off.
Amazing, which is why we also want to urge you guys to come send us these entries so that Sharul can listen to your music and also kind of, help us create this hip hop league and figure out who the best 32 rappers are. And what do you feel about, because it's India, it's such a diverse country, we have so many languages. Hip hop is also, it's not necessary that it has to be, you have to spit hip hop in English or Hindi. There are going to be a lot of rappers that might be from different regions, So, what is it that you're looking for when, it's impossible for a judge to understand all the languages, but what are the key things that you look for when you're actually assessing someone's delivery or someone's entry? And also, like, do you lean on other people to kind of get help to give you some sort of advice? Because we also have Stana, who's part of our on-ramp.
Yeah,
So what is that process going to look like?
100%. I think the first thing, right, is which I know people might not put this as the main factor, but like little bit of like a star factor should be there, like
Sure.
an over the top personality, or someone who just the passion, like flows through the screen, like
Sure.
I think anyone can kind of measure those things. Secondly, there should be some sort of quality factor when it comes to flow, like syllable wise, is it fitting within the meter? Is
Sure.
it sounding comfortable on everyone's ears or whatever? Second, lyrics are an important thing. I really, any language, I have people, that also help me, even someone like Stana, who is going to be a big part of this choosing process. And
Sure.
of course, just a stage presence. I know it's hard to do that from home, but I mean, I've sent audition tapes for things like Gully Boy or whatever, and a lot of things like that. And for the last 6 months, most of my performances have been on through a screen. So I think it's not really about worrying. Oh, there's someone else who needs to kind of like put their hands up for me. It's about just giving your all and really pushing out your passion and what you want to project to the person who's watching you. And I think that all will come through, like with a 16 bar or 30-second rap or 60-second rap.
Sure.
It will definitely come through the screen, like the screen. And I want to see that confidence. I want to see that, yo, this person is the right choice to put to the next level, because they're gonna, they're gonna make proper use of it, and it's not just gonna be like, okay, it should be that, this guy is, there's something there,
Sure,
that's it.
sure.
Yeah.
Amazing, man. That's really inspiring to hear you say that, and so excited to have you here. In terms of what you've been doing, what's coming next? Like, we are into the next year. What are your plans for 2021 releases? What are we going to look forward to from Shahrul?
Yes. So my EP is ready. I've just been
All right.
finalizing the last things in the, the release and everything, so it's ready. A lot of people, are waiting for it, and super happy that, appreciative that everyone's been super patient about it, and I've been super patient about it. I'm dying to drop music. I've got a few things dropping before the end of the year, but the EP is like is around the corner. It's coming. It's crazy. A lot of crazy features.
Amazing.
The feature that I did meet at a breezer Vivid Shuffle is Meba Ophelia from
Amazing.
who's
Meva's amazing,
yeah,
dude. Shillong,
yeah.
yes.
So she's on my EP as well. Amazing
So
artist
cool.
from GullyGang as well on my EP. So it's been good. Like lockdown, I've just been working on a lot of music, trying different things. You know, uh, Trying to learn new skills here and there,
Sure.
non-music and music, and just pushing through. That's it. Staying safe.
Amazing. And that brings me to the part that you're also an entrepreneur. You have your merch line,
Yeah.
you're a producer, you're not just a rapper. How important did you feel diversifying was for you? Like, for an aspiring rapper, their focus obviously needs to be their art, but then you're doing so many things at the same time. How do you manage that?
I think it has to do with hip hop being a community, and there's so many things within it. I'm passionate about a lot of things. I'm passionate about like things like clothing, apparel, food. I studied mixing, audio engineering, so I mix as well. That's something like that. I work with a lot of producers, but one thing part of my production chain, that you could call it, is mixing, and obviously the performance part is something that like
Sure.
is very important to me. And yeah, it's I mean, if you have the passion for it, you'll do it.
Yeah.
It's not like a mandatory thing to have
Sure.
your hands in many things, and sometimes even it is hard to juggle it. It's about kind of
Sure.
like building a team around you as you get bigger and stuff. Thankful to for my team, Gully Gang.
Sure.
Moving, that's it. Move forward
Yeah.
always. Yeah.
Amazing. I also wanted to understand, like, in terms of creative, like if you're rapping and you're doing all these things, I'm sure it's like a creative release also for you to get your mind off it, because I've also felt that sometimes that helps a creative block, or for you to channelize it for a bit. You just focus your attention on, let's say, your merch line, and then when you come back to making music, you feel, revitalized and re-energized. Is that also why you kind of keep yourself busy with other things?
Yeah, 100%. I think like you said earlier, like how to stay kind of always on the ball, and like if you have kind of a writer's block, it's not just about dabbling between work stuff. It's also about kind of revitalizing passions, and learning new things. Like I started drawing and painting and doing things like that, or like
Nice.
I'm like a movie buff. Like I'll go through my favorite Scorsese movies, or whatever it is, that inspires
Sure.
you in other ways, that kind of like brings you back. Like whether it's even just like going for a walk and listening to like my favorite Kanye West album, or whatever it is,
Sure.
and it
Sure.
that kind of brings me back. Or yeah, 100%. Just kind of
Amazing, man.
refresh everything.
That is super exciting. Thank you so much for sharing that. We also really appreciate that you took the time out on a Sunday to come here and chat with us. Again, one
Always.
final request to everyone that is listening. Please, if you're a rapper, sign up. All you have to do is click on the link in the bio, go to the insider site, put a 60-second clip of yourself rapping, upload it, and wait for us to get in touch. Shahrul is out here, who's going to be helping us. We can't wait. Any plugs? Last words, Shahrul. Go.
Just all the best to all the contestants. My name is Shah. lot of music coming soon. Shout out Breeze and Vivid Shuffle. Shout out OML Gang. Shout out everyone. Gully Gang. We out here. Let's go.
All
Yeah.
right. Thank you so much, everyone. Thanks a lot, Shahrul. It was amazing speaking to you. And yeah, let's wait for the entries. And Shahrul's going to have to go through a bunch of them. So best of luck, buddy.
Thank you. Take care,
All
bro.
right. See you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye.